Time now for First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
All right, a very different setup for today and moving forward. Milton leaving the Florida Peninsula and pulling away. It will still be breezy, but cooler, drier air set to settle in. Now, it's not going to stay cool all afternoon. It's still going to warm up. I think we got a chance to get up over 80. But we're talking just into the low 80s, which is right where temperatures are supposed to be in the afternoons this time of the year. And we're starting off in the 60s. Some spots might even dip into the 50s this morning. More of us will dip into the 50s the next several mornings. Boy, is that going to feel different out there and probably real refreshing for many. We can see some of that rain from Milton that did make its way into parts of the Suwannee River Valley, most of it never getting past Taylor County or Madison County back towards the west, but a couple of sprinkles tried. Now, a lot of it's moving off to the east and will continue to do that. I think what we're going to find today will be that breeze from the north and northeast that's still going to be fairly persistent, but clearing, cooling, drying. We're at 61 in Thomasville. 63 degrees in Tallahassee. It's 64 in Valdosta. But go down to that third row. Those dew point temperatures, mid-50s, tells me there's a lot of place for that temperature to keep falling. So we could see a handful of locations dip into the 50s this morning. Already there in Bainbridge and in Quincy at 59. Also up in Blakely, a little warmer in Perry at 65 or Live Oak 64. I see that 65 at Apalachicola also. Now, it will be a little breezy at times today and probably still even tonight. But that breeze will start to relax, and with the skies being cleared, the air drying out, and just being cooler in general, and those winds calming down, we set up that right condition for that radiational cooling, which is the fancy way of saying tomorrow morning's temperatures are going to be quite a bit lower than this morning. I would not be shocked to see a bunch that get down near 50 degrees tomorrow morning. So really different, really refreshing, really fall. And of course, this all on the heels of Milton that is moving away. Still for the east coast of Florida with some concerns for some surge as the showers wrap around, but back onto the west coast, most of those watches warnings now being allowed to expire. That breeze from the north and northeast is going to stick around, I think, even into the day tomorrow, but it should relax and head into the weekend. We're really looking for some pretty nice weather. Now, here's some of the nuts and bolts about Hurricane Milton. Still with 85-mile-per-hour sustained winds at 5 o'clock this morning. The air pressure up to 976 millibars, so it's getting weaker and weaker, and that's going to continue. The location at 5 a.m. was off of Cape Canaveral, so now back into the Atlantic Ocean, where it should continue to race away. And it may take a little while for it to continue weakening, but that's likely what's going to happen. Now, as far as the rest of the tropics go, things are mostly quiet out there. There is some energy in the Atlantic. I mean, you can see what's left of Milton no longer looking like that menacing system. And there is some energy way out across on the other side of the Atlantic, but nothing that looks like it's going to ramp up anytime soon. The rains will continue to be something to deal with for parts of the peninsula until the storm itself gets farther out into the Atlantic. So they'll continue to get wet, especially on the I-95 corridor through the morning hours. On the Gulf around here, still windy, clearing skies. We'll put those winds up to about 15 to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 8 feet. Those rough and very rough conditions should start to subside later on today and tonight. Most of us in the 60s this morning, clearing, breezy. Sun doesn't come up till 7:37, by the way. This afternoon, I'm getting a pretty good shot to get to 80. Mostly sunny, still a little bit breezy, very comfortable for October. And then tonight we're going to see mid-50s. I kind of think we're going to see some low 50s in spots, especially if those winds calm down just a little bit. And here's our 7-day forecast. You know I love that 50-80 split. We're going to be awfully close for the next several days. Yeah, we can call this the good stuff.